Are we live? Oh, here we go. Cool. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Charles. Charles and Rails tapping in. I have this video with Van Lathan. He was on the Bootleg Kev show. Van, I used to work with Van at I used to work at TMZ. Van Lathan, if y'all don't know, he was the one who kind of checked Kanye when Kanye said that slavery was a choice when Kanye was up at TMZ. Of course, I wasn't working there when Kanye came up in there, but my man Van was working there. When I started working at TMZ, I worked at TMZ back in 2000 I worked there for like 2 years, 2007, 2008, long time ago. Van had just got there my last couple months there. He was an intern, and he was working on the TMZ tour bus because they had just started the tour bus once I made my exit from there. Let's go ahead and get into this video, and I'm going to come back with my reaction. Hit that thumbs up button, guys.
In terms of like maybe a particular story or like what you just told me.
You like that?
Like you just walked me through this whole thing, which was essentially your job. Was there ever anything you look back on and you're like, damn,
that I was a part of,
that you were a part of, or
there are plenty of things that happened at TMZ that I was embarrassed about.
Not even just that you were at TMZ for, but like maybe it was a story you wrote that maybe you got wrong initially. Maybe you felt it was an unfair approach to that person that after you got later context, you maybe, we're like, fuck.
Oh, see, here's the thing about me. There is one time, and there's something that I learned from it. There was one time where I did this whole thing with a porn star that I found out wasn't sleeping with black talent, right?
Okay.
And I named the porn star. The way I would do that now, because it was kind of like, I'm on TV, it's early, and I'm reckless. I'm just, hey, I found out that this porn star that everyone likes doesn't sleep with black talent. And
who was the porn star?
On camera. Well, if I do that now, it makes no sense.
True. Okay, go ahead.
So if I found out that they didn't sleep with black talent, and so I asked a question about it, and they weren't. I believe
it might have been Jana Jameson. I think I remember that story. It might have been Jana Jameson that said that she doesn't sleep with black talent. I think that because Jana Jameson is like white boy. Back in the day, she was like white boys, like porn. She was the it girl of porn. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think she was like the first multi-million dollar porn actress. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. Let's continue on.
Into porn. So the entire room, they don't really know what's going on, right? So they're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Harvey goes crazy. He loves the story. They put it up. They put her up there. They do the whole thing. Now, to me, is it a relevant conversation to have about racism in porn or why certain porn stars won't do scenes with black guys? Sure, it's a relevant conversation, but it's such a widespread thing that's probably unfair to make one person the face of that, right? If you're going to talk about it, the way you talk about it and not make one person the victim of a lot of vitriol when that person might not necessarily be a racist, is you just say, hey, you ask the same question, because I asked somebody on the street, I said, hey, blah, 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 doesn't do that, then I name the person. You just say, hey, my favorite porn star, or porn star I like, or whatever, like that. And then you have the same conversation, you get the same feel.
Just remove the name.
But somebody doesn't have to bear the brunt of it.
Because it's an industry-wide thing.
It's not an industry-wide thing. Only certain people do it.
No, I'm talking about just the racism in porn in general.
Racism in porn is an industry-wide thing. Yeah. And I don't have any problem talking about that. And I don't have any problem asking somebody, okay, well, then what's the reason that you wouldn't work with black talent? Like, what is that reason? Because it's such a fundamentally troubling thing to me. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you'll do all of this, but like not that. Mm-hmm. I mean, later on, I figured out that I've talked to enough people, black and white, and they told me that there are just straight up business reasons for it. Whatever, it's their industry. I'm not going to get involved with it. They can fight their own battle. But what I'm saying is, whatever it is, forget about it. Whatever it is, what I have to do is be really intentional when I want someone to wear a problem.
Right.
When I want to put a problem on somebody, when you're on television, when you have a microphone in front of you, you have to be super intentional when you call somebody out. Because when you call somebody out, you make them the issue that you're talking about. And they have to have earned that to such a degree.
Right. That
you have to be so sure about that, or else you just don't care about your own responsibility. That's something that I regretted, or something that I learned to do differently. As far as stories that I might have broken, to be honest with you, not really, and I'll tell you why. The stories that I was involved with, they weren't that big a deal. Like, my job at TMZ, I wrote a lot of stories, but my job at TMZ, especially after the first couple of years, because, I was on the street. No.
Well, you started with like the tours, right?
I was on the TMZ tour, and then I was on the street, right? With the camera.
Yep.
Sometimes those interactions I would regret.
Just like running up on somebody like...
Yeah, and it's because I'm from the South, and for the most part, that job was fun. And for the most part, celebrities in Los Angeles, they know the deal.
They're cool.
They're cool. They're down to have a good time. But every once in a while, you put the camera on somebody and you look, and they'd have that look of, I'm really having a fucked up day.
Yeah.
Like something's going on with me. Like something's happening. Or you put your camera on somebody and they would be like, I don't know, crying, or they would be sad, or, they're with their kids.
Was there a specific...
I remember I had one time they sent me to go shoot